After Prime Minister Modi's surprise visit to the new Parliament building, Congress leader Jairams Rant on Thursday, which is yesterday, claimed that the new Parliament building is a waste of money and is nothing but a personal vanity project of the Prime Minister. However, the same Jairams Rant back in 2012 was quoted in the media saying, "We badly need a Parliament building. The one simply isn't functional and it is outdated." Well, isn't the Congress happy with the nation's development? Are these comments made just for the sake of making them? What does actually this signify? What does this actually expose? We'll talk about this with our guest. Joining us on the show is Mr. Goenka, BJP spokesperson. Pujas Response, Congress spokesperson, also joins us on the show. Majid Haidari, political analyst, with us on the program as well. And last but by no means the least, Lakshmis, political analyst, joining us on the program too. Pooja, I'll begin with you if you can hear me. Pujas Response.
Yeah.
Well, why would somebody from the Congress party have a problem with the new Parliament building? Our democracy is growing. The number of Lok Sabha seats are also likely to grow. There will be more representation because of this expanding democracy and economy. Why would Mr. Ramesh have a problem with that? And didn't the Congress make buildings of their own when they ruled India for so long? Is it that they never made any official building? And could that be called as a legacy of, some dictator from your party? I mean, I'm just making this contextual and very objective for you. It is not something that I'm saying. It is something which is supposed to be coming out after what Jairams Rant said.
We need first of all, congratulations on the new Central Vista project. We saw the photos of Mr. Modi's surprise visit. But my first question would be, would the parliament be conducted in the new building? Would the government agree to the JPC's, having a JPC on the Adani scam and have a discussion?
Come on, Pooja, come on, please. Please don't drag Adani into this. I asked you a specific question. I want you to answer that. Why do you have to deviate from what I asked you? Please answer my question. The new Parliament building, does the Congress really think it's an exercise and a project in vain?
I think we are living in a post-pandemic world where Central Vista must be grandiose, must be a symbol of a new democratic India. But where is the question of our misplaced priorities? In Parliament, Mr. Ashwini Vaishnav answered that by suspending the concessions to senior citizens, the railways gained 2,560 crores, and that led to 87% less of senior citizens traveling through trains. We are not able to provide the pre-pandemic concession to senior citizens, and we boast of a new Central Vista. I have the figures of the funding of the central schemes in 2020, 21, 22. It dealt a bloody blow to Narega with a 32% cut in the funds, which is the lifeline of rural employment. The Ministry of Tribal Affairs saw cut funds from 7,524 crore to 6,184 crore. The umbrella scheme for development of ST saw cut from 4,303 to 3,797 crores. The National Child Labour Policy saw cut from 120 crores to 30 crores. The skill development was just slashed to 2,753 crore. The Mission for Protection and Empowerment of Women, which was so well publicized, saw a slashing of 38 crore funds from 48 to 10 crores. The Mission Shakti was slashed to 2,121 crore. The NLP, the Ajivika scheme was from 1,442 to 1,250 crore. The Vishwas, the marginalized, the economic packages to the Vanchitikai.
So what in a sense you're saying, Pooja, is that money was taken out of these important projects and put into the parliament. Is that what you're saying?
It's how grandiose it must be, the project.
Okay. I like the fact that you have your facts and your numbers on your fingertips. Mr. Goenka is smiling. What that means is that he has a lot to say. Mr. Goenka, you want to respond to what Pooja said?
Mr. Malhotra, Ram Ram to you, Ram Ram to my co-panelists, and Ram Ram to all the viewers who are watching this particular debate. The colonial masters, Englishmen, made certain institutions and certain structures and venues, which then the illicit child of the colonial masters, Congress, continued it post-colonial era. They continued it with pride that it was belonging to the colonial masters, and that mindset still exists. We will rule, you will take. Well, with the times changing, there are current needs which are to be there. When we have a house, we also do changes in the house, and many times you have to grow up and you have to go to a bigger house. Technology changes, access stages, number of seats available, number of facilities available in the current building, and the safety of the current building. It also depicts the country's current pride when you make a new structure and show it to the world that yes, after 75 years, we have a better structure, we have a bigger structure than the colonial master which we had. But Congress won't understand that. They were habituated to just change the name of the institution or a place, whether it is an airport where they would change it and make it Indira Gandhi Airport, or whether it is an institute where they would change it and make it Sanjay Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru. They would never understand the pride of making things. Be it be Sardar Patel, who was their own leader, but they dumped him. And we had to make the Statue of Unity, which they should have made it. They won't understand the requirement of making toilets. They wanted our sisters to go out in open. They said, "Kya zarurat hai? Paise kyun kharcha kar rahe ho? Bahar to ja rahe, swachhata ki kya zarurat hai?" We had to give that 8 crore toilets to the sisters who are there because we felt that their pride is at stake and they will have self-respect. They will have more dignity if we give them toilets. They were not eating. They were objecting to that particular toilets also. They were objecting to giving gases to the kitchens of the poor. They said, "Arey lakdi jalane kya fark padta hai?" So this is their colonial mindset. They can only see one family coming and being there. They would never ask their family, "What did you do? Did you ever start a university? Did you ever start a project in this country where there is employment? Please tell me." When Statue of Unity was done, they all objected to it. And today we see thousands of people being employed there. Now, ma'am, Dr. Puja would agree that they are efficient, they are more capable to rename the things. In India, there are more than 1,000 institutions which they have not built. They have not contributed anything, not a zero value addition to that, but they have named it under their family. Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Sanjay Gandhi. These are the same people who would do Turkman Gate, do vacuostomy of my Muslim brothers who are not even 16-year old. But deny to fund in anything. And today when we do Ayushman Bharat, they would question Ayushman Bharat. Garibon ko kyun dena hai medicine? Marega to kya farak padega? See, that is that colonial mindset. They will not come out of that particular thing.
Okay, let me take a response from Mr. Hydari on that as well. Mr. Majid Hydari, what do you make of the comments which have been made by the Congress leader, Mr. Jairam Ramesh? And let's not forget that, regardless of what and which government is at the helm of affairs at the center, there are always going to be outlooks and perspective which are going to be different from the preceding government. I understand that definitely this could be, stated as Mr. Jairam Ramesh's personal view on this. But the fact of the matter is that a new parliament was recommended by him about 10 years ago.
Well, Vineet Saab, I'm reminded of that couplet that "Ik shahenshah ne banwa ke hasi Taj Mahal, hum garibon ki mohabbat ka udaya hai mazak." Indian democracy is not about RCC structures or chuna surfi. Indian democracy is people's democracy, where we still have the democracy at the grassroots in panchayats, where panchayats still run from mud houses or open air under the trees. So buildings don't matter for Indian democracy. The essence of democracy matters, and that lies in the people and the people's representatives. But unfortunately, at the moment, we have a kind of I would say, a democratic crisis, that one of the worthy member parliaments has been disqualified because he spoke on something and he is trying to target one businessman, because of which we would say that the secular democracy of under kind of a threat or a risk from some quarters. So here the question is not about this building alone. And then second important point, because it comes to statistics also, when we live in a democracy where 33 million youth are unemployed, do we need to spend 14,000 crores on this project? I mean, what are the priorities of the government? Is the safeguard of the democracy the priority of the government?
Are we spending that much? Is that number correct, Mr. Goenka? Are we spending 14,000 crore?
It's 13,000 something.
It is his wild. This is his dream, which he's talking about. See, let me correct Mr. Majid.
No, sir, it's not about dream. You can just
Mr. Majid,
it out.
If I can just, see, I didn't interject, Mr. Majid. I never interjected.
Okay, but Mr. Goenka, one second. We are interjecting him. Let him finish his point. Let him finish his point. I'll come to you.
Finish your point, then I'll revert on that.
Yeah, Mr. Hydari, finish your point.
See, my point is that there are 3 figures given on the internet about this statistics, because government is not coming clear on the figures. The total figure of this project comes at 13,000 crores and some 50 crores. So the point is there, do we need to spend on these structures, or even the Statue of Unity, which was built in Gujarat, and the Chinese firms got benefited out of that? I mean, what are the priorities of the government? If at the moment the parliament is demanding a joint parliamentary probe, joint parliamentary committee probe, is that the priority, or should we discuss some building which is coming up when the democracy is allegedly, as per Congress, at stake, that democracy has a risk? What is the fun of coming up with a building, and why is government not listening to the people's voice? I mean, opposition is not some party, it's people's voice. When the people's voice says that we need to prioritize what needs to be the priority of the nation, how can we go into some different kind of infrastructural development? Parliament or Indian democracy is not civil infrastructure development. It's people's democracy, and people's democracy at the moment, Congress believes is at risk, and I too believe there is a kind of a risk to Indian democracy which needs to be safeguarded and can't be done through a new parliament, a new Central Vista building. Yes, over.
Okay, Mr. Goenka, your response quickly, and then we go to Raj Lakshmi.
I don't know where these figures have come to Mr. Majid and how much well informed he is, but anyway, they may be their views, his views. Mr. Majid, can you just please help me out by doing the same search you did in Parliament building? How much money was spent on the road and total number of kilometers been built in the Congress era, entire 55 years and the 8 years? Then you will realize that the kilometers of the road which you have been talking in Congress era, we have doubled that, what they were done in 55 years. Number two, can you also help me out with the figures, the way you have searched this cost from some place, I don't know, how many toilets were built and what is the cost been implemented? Third, can you please help me out to tell me total number of kilometers of the rail track which has been put in this country in the last 8 years? Can you please help me out to tell me how many number of locomotives have been built in this country? Please, can you help me out one more thing? How many number of drivers click the toll plaza of Statue of Unity? I'm not talking about passengers and visitors. I'm talking about number of drivers who are unskilled yet employed because the statue has come there. Can you please help me to know how many number of people have been registered in EPFO in the canteens, hotels and the lodges around Statue of Unity? Gentlemen, you are far from reality. Just because you dislike us, you are speaking all this particularly. Please correct your facts. One, go and ask what is the number. Number two, do you recommend that we still continue the Colonial building because you feel that this is not people's voice? Sir, people's voice is number of people elected. Please correct yourself.
Okay.
People has given a mandate, Mr. Majid.
Okay.
The number of people have been elected. Now, your member of parliament, he rarely goes to Wayanad. How will he represent Wayanad? How many days has he? Let me ask one question to him, Mr. Malhotra. Permission.
Mr. Goenka, quickly, sir.
One last question, Mr. Majid. Number of days Mr. Rahul Gandhi was present in parliament and number of days he was absent in parliament. Please tell me.
Okay, all right. Raja Lakshmi Joshi coming now. Okay, let me take a response from Raja Lakshmi Joshi on this matter as well. Raja Lakshmi, quickly, what do you make of this?
I have this one question. Just
one second, Pooja. Raja Lakshmi has been waiting. Let's hear from her, and then I'll come to you, Pooja.
Lakshmi, I encourage in your time, but you know, Majid Bhai should know.
Okay, sir, you made your point, Mr. Goenka. You made your point, sir. Sir, you made your point. You made your point and a half. Raja Lakshmi.
Good evening, Vineet. I have been listening patiently, and I wonder how either the Congress or Mr. Jairam Ramesh or even Mr. Majid Haidari, I don't know how they are commenting a kind of being autocratic or being like some dictator, etc., by creating all these buildings. And like you mentioned very rightly, the need for the building, I think that is beyond the argument. Now, they also kind of accept that is the reason why they are talking about how Modi ji is leaving it behind as a legacy. Now, let me tell you about the Congress legacy, what they have been doing. They are very precisely 450 schemes, buildings, projects, institutions have been named after three names. That is Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru ji, Indira Gandhi ji, and Rajiv Gandhi ji. These are the three names behind, on which the 450 items have been named. Out of that, this out of an RTI query, Vineet, that I'm quoting here. In 2012, okay, now obviously the number is more now. In 2012, it revealed that 19 stadiums, 5 airports, and 4 national sanctuaries and parks, 39 hospitals and medical institutions, 37 institutions, chairs and festivals, 74 roads, buildings and places are named after 3 members of the Nehru Gandhi family. I am not talking about 12 central and 52 state schemes or 28 sports tournaments and trophies, 51 awards, 15 fellowships. All of these have been named after 3 members, from the Congress, and they have completely forgotten Mr. Narasimha Rao ji. They have completely forgotten all the other prime ministers from the Congress, and it is only about 3 people from the Nehru Gandhi parivar. I fail to understand, if this is not creating a legacy, what else is? It is not like Narendra Modi ji is on this spree about naming buildings after him. This thing about this parliament building, that was the need of the day. And I'm sure that you must have visited the PM Museum. You know that is these kind of structures, they give a sense of pride. I just want to add one thing. First, on a personal note, I have been accompanying a delegation of Nepali MPs for the last 3 days. Let me tell you, they were really so impressed looking at this museum, and they told me that within 1 hour they were able to understand the entire history of all the prime ministers, all their contributions, how much India has progressed over the years.
Let's hear from Puja as well.
So all of this,
right.
not building some legacy of money.
Right. One second. Puja, your response to this. The bigger picture over here is that what is objectionable when it comes to this development? There are highways being built, there are other infra projects which are being built by the government. Then why is this being called out? Isn't this a part of that macro projection, that macro, growth that India is targeting?
Beneath, when your house is in fire, what is your first response? You douse the fire. Rather than changing the curtains, moving to a bigger house, you try to extinguish the fire in your own house first. I think in every parameter our country is faring badly. In every, be it World Hunger Index, be it the economic indicators, be it unemployment. I want to ask Mr. Vineet Goenka one question, just one single question. I wanted to know, I'm curious, where did he study from is one I wanted to ask. If he can respond to me.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Puja.
Yeah.
My education comes from Mumbai. Unlike your Shahjada, who I don't know which college he has studied. Let me complete. You have asked me the question, let me answer you. Let me answer you. Madam, I was fair to you. Mr. Malhotra, can we have clarity?
Okay. All right, Mr. Goenka, nothing personal. Nothing personal.
No, Mr. Malhotra, let me ask Dr. Puja one question. Dr. Puja, please tell me, isn't it crime to do a vacuostomy to a 12-year-old kid against his wish? Is it or not? Yes or no, ma'am?
No, I am asking, where did you study?
Please answer. I have answered you that I come from Mumbai and I did from Mumbai University. I am asking one question. Isn't it crime to do vacuostomy of a 12-year-old kid or not against his wish, madam?
When was
you have done this crime. Congress forced dozens and hundreds of Muslim youths. I am repeating.
Okay, one second. Puja, 1 second. Let him respond.
Please tell me whether
Let him respond.
Now, let me complete my question. She has been intervening. Miss Puja, tell me whether it is crime or not to do a vacuostomy of 12-year Muslim kids against their wish. Hundreds of them were forced to do vacuostomy. जिस दर्शकों को समझ में आ रहा है नसबंदी, कांग्रेस के जमाने में जबरदस्ती मुस्लिम युवकों की नसबंदी की गई थी. क्या ये गलत है कि नहीं बताइए जरा. इसको डेमोक्रेसी कहेंगे, फायर ऑफ द हाउस है कि नहीं बताइए. जवाब दीजिए साली. मेरे मुस्लिम ब्रदर्स को आपने जान.
Okay, let her respond. Mr. Goenka, let her respond, and then we'll go to Mr. Hydri as well. Puja, respond.
Please respond, madam. I'm answering you. Now please tell me whether this is crime or not.
Constitution built in Congress, so you cannot claim that Congress did nothing.
I'm asking a very simple question.
Let her respond. Mr. Goenka, let her respond. Mr. Goenka, please let her respond, sir.
Let me question. Did somebody in your family suffered from COVID during the pandemic? Yes, somebody. I'm not saying
My question is very simple, madam. Muslim युवकों की नसबंदी आपने की थी कि नहीं की थी? Did you do vacuostomy of 12-year-old?
Okay. Maybe, Mr. Goenka, if you give her time, she's just articulating her answer. Give her some time to build it up. Mr. Goenka, 1 second. Mr. Goenka, let her articulate her answer,
Another
please.
Congress spokesperson, Majid can also answer me. No
Can
problem.
you can say that nothing has been done in the last 70
The
years?
question is very simple. बहन जी, एक बात बताइए. किसी 12 साल के लड़के की नसबंदी करना उसके मन के खिलाफ, ये सही था कि गलत था कांग्रेस के एरा में?
Mr. Goenka, please, a little patience, sir.
Your government, it's okay to defend your party, but don't just sit on a panel and say blatant lie that nothing has been done in Congress rule. No, you are denying your own personal
Yes,
account.
you did, ma'am. You did vacuostomy of 12-year-old Muslim kids
Oh
in
God, I
Muslim
am
gate.
asking you. It's between
That's
you
what
and
you did. You did nothing, anything. You forced them to go out of mainstream education to go to madrasa schools. That's what you did. You forced them in poverty. You made them go
Okay,
away from
all right,
mainstream.
okay.
That's what
Mr.
you did,
Goenka,
ma'am.
Mr. Goenka, we're not going to get anywhere if you're going to continue with this. Mr. Hydri, you want to respond to what Mr. Goenka said? Mr. Hydri?
Yes, Vineet sir, firstly, I would say hats off to Nitin Gadkari ji for the kind of infrastructure development he has brought to the country, and he has taken the nation to the Guinness Book of World Records for the speed of infrastructure development. I wish every Indian leader, Indian politician works the way Nitin Gadkari ji is doing, and even if he's from BJP, I salute him for that. And I salute his endeavor. But my point is very simple. I fail to understand the logic of what the panelist Vineet Bhai when he says that this building was built in the colonial era. Let me remind him that Rashtrapati Bhavan has also been built in the same colonial era. The India Gate, the Gateway of India, and much of the infrastructure, including the railways, was built by the Britishers. So will we erode everything through some bulldozer baba and then come up with something new? I mean, we need to have some kind of logic, and we need to set the priorities.
Thank you to ask me this question. I would like to answer this. Very nice. Thank you for asking me this.
No, my brother, we have
Can I
to
answer
set
it?
the
I'll answer
priorities.
it, sir.
Let him finish. Mr. Goenka, let him finish. Mr. Goenka, let him finish. Let him finish. Please. Allow somebody to finish.
Goenka bhai, you are my brother. I am requesting you that we need to set the priorities. Is first priority to safeguard Indian democracy or to come up with a building in the name of democracy? And then what should be the next? Should we concentrate and focus and invest on infrastructure development for the youth who are employed, 33 million youth, or should we come up with the building for our own benefit? I mean, a road benefits everybody, but this Central Vista building doesn't benefit everybody by
nice
the
of you.
parliamentarians.
Can I answer it?
So
I
please
understood,
set the
Mr.
priorities.
Yeah, you can
Thank
answer
sir.
it. Mr. Goenka, go ahead.
Mr. Majid, I cannot thank you more than this. You're right. Replace every building. As the time comes, if there is a need. Today in Parliament, there is a need. We will have to accommodate more people. Have you ever visited the Parliament Central Hall or the place where the Lok Sabha takes place? It's cramped. Does it have access to the technology which is there right now? My answer is no. It is needed. It's a time. Tomorrow, all the buildings which you talked about, if they are time bar, we will have to someday or the other day, not today, as the budget permits, as the need comes up, will have to be done. The same time, the way, Mr. Majid, I'll tell you, there are two differences of democracy. In Congress era, as I said, vacuostomy was done to my Muslim brothers, but in our era, in Modi ji's era, a special scholarship has been given to minority girls. The number of Muslim girls taking post-graduation in this particular government is far more than the number of girls put together in the 55 years. That is our priority, sir. What is my priority is that while I am putting the road in place, we are money for Chandrayaan. While we are putting in Chandrayaan, we are also tackling the issue of Pakistan. So
Okay,
while we are doing this particular thing, last two lines.
And also
Mr. Majid, last two lines. When we distributed toilet, we never asked कि तेरा नाम सलमा है कि सरिता है. जब गैस जाता उसको पूछा नहीं गया था कि तेरा नाम क्या है. It was given to everybody. That is what is democracy. But in Congress era.
Okay, let Puja. Okay. Okay, all right. Mr. Goenka, all right. Mr. Goenka, now it's time for Mr. Goenka, 1 second. Puja, respond now. Mr. Goenka, you will not interrupt.
One gate के ऊपर पहले बोलिए, बाद में बाकी बातें करेंगे.
Puja ji, please respond. Mr. Goenka, you will not interrupt, sir, please.
Mr. Goenka, for Salma bhi, Sarita bhi, Savita bai bhi, everyone is paying 1,200 rupees for a cylinder. This was not in Congress era.
ऐसे नहीं था, सिलेंडर ही नहीं था, तो कहाँ से देंगे पैसे?
Let her finish, sir. You're interrupting, sir. Please.
The refilling rate of Ujjwala scheme it's absolutely nominal. So don't say कि अब हमने जब टॉयलेट्स बनाया और हमने सिलेंडर दिया, आपके सिलेंडर दोबारा तो भरवा नहीं पा रहे हैं, और तो और 400 का सिलेंडर जब अब 1200 का मिल रहा है, तो घर की हाउस होल्ड सेविंग कितनी घट रही है, तो आप ये मत कहिए.
No, Mr. Goenka. Okay. Last comments from Lakshmis. We've run out of time.
Answer to Lakshmis.
Yeah,
Vinny,
quickly. We've run out of time.
I just want to ask.
Vinny, Dr. Puja, please allow me to respond. You were thinking about the fire in the house, etc. I don't understand what is the fixation of the Congress with the fire. Mr. Rahul Gandhi also was talking about how kerosene छिड़ गया है पूरे देश में, and आग लगने की जरा सी देर है, and there's a spark that is needed, etc. So I don't understand this fixation of the Congress with the fire. And another thing I want to say,
we've run out of time.
Vinit, I just want to say one thing. Even the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi ji himself had spoken in the Parliament about how when 100 rupees is given for any particular scheme, what reaches to the end user was maybe 10 paise or 1 rupee. Today, in the Jan Dhan account, the entire amount directly goes to the end user. That is the difference between what was happening in the Congress time and today. And I don't think there should be any argument about whether the new parliament was needed or not.
One
I
line,
don't
Mr.
think that was
Botra.
needed at all.
Quickly, Mr. Goenka, 10 seconds. I have to wrap up.
Dr. Puja, Turkman Gate will be reminded to you in every show. And every time you have to answer to my Muslim brothers, why did you do the vacuotomy of 12-year-old kids against their wish?
Okay, we've run out of time.
People.
We'll run out of time. Absolutely. This is an argument which is going to go on forever, and definitely this is a kind of a comment which is not needed, especially when it is understood that the democracy that we live in is expanding. The number of seats will definitely grow. So a newer parliament with newer facilities and newer technology was the need of the hour. We take a short break here. Be right back.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.